What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to be checking out an awesome team consisting of Altaria, Lanturn, and Tentacruel. Now, I talked about the top performing teams from PvPoke earlier this week, and a core from there was Altaria and Lanturn. Now, the team consisted of Registeel, but I decided to swap it out for Tentacruel. Why? Because Tentacruel's awesome and it got scalded this season, and I think it is very strong in this meta. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team in these battles, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, getting into the first battle here. I do have coffee as well with me. We got Talonflame here on the lead. So granted, my whole team actually does pretty well against a Talonflame. So what we're going to look to do here is get ourselves shield advantage in order to try to sweep late game against their backline. They decided to go for the flame charge on the first one. Like I said, we're getting ourselves shield advantage, so I would have no shielded that if it was a Brave Bird anyways. We do get the Sky Attack off, and we do get a shielder there. I should probably set the coffee down. It feels weird shoutcasting with coffee in my hand, but they will be able to get to another charge move now. And granted, if this is a Brave Bird, so be it. I'm going to let it go. It is. Boom! Altaria goes down. But we can come in with Lanturn and farm down. Now they decide to swap in Galarian Stunfisk, and this is the exact reason why I like Water Gun in exchange for Spark, is matchups now against Galarian Stunfisk. You are doing super effective damage, and with the nerf to Walreign's Icicle Spear at the beginning of this season, I think we're seeing more Galarian Stunfisks than we are seeing Walreigns, which is why I decided to run with this fast move. So we are able to get to another Surf in time that is going to be taking out the Galarian Stunfisk. Talonflame is low. We still have 2 shields. They have no shields, and final Pokemon is Swampert. So that's looking to be a good game, very well played. They decide to go for Hydro Cannon right here. I'm going to go ahead and shield anyways. Yes, it is resisted, but we can just close this game out with Lanturn, as we're just going to go ahead and go for Surf. I'm anticipating them potentially swapping out to try to catch the charge move on Talonflame, which is why I'm not throwing exactly on Surf. But either way, this is going to be a good game. I decide to... Actually, no, I don't on this one. I'm going to go ahead and basically shield right here and look to close this out as we do stop the Hydro Cannon. But I'm actually going to go ahead and swap now into Tentacruel to catch the Hydro Cannon here. Granted, I don't think I needed to do this, but just to make sure we secure victory, because Talonflame will go down to Poison Jabs anyway. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Moving to the next one, Walrein on the lead. Okay, so this is going to be kind of tough right here. We got to swap out right away into Tentacruel. They decide to load up a little bit on energy, and they bring in a Hypno. This is worst case situation, absolute worst case. Something that hard locks down the Walrein lead with something that hard locks down Tentacruel. In this case, it's going to be Confusion Hypno. So we're going to see if we can still pull this game off, but right now things are not looking good. They show that they have Thunder Punch, so Tentacruel does go down. I would like to load up on energy with Altaria, and I will bank on the fact that they may not have Ice Punch. If they hit me with an Ice Punch, so be it. But like I said in game 1, I like running Water Gun because I think I see more Swamperts and Galarian Stunfisks than I do see Walreins. And you're going to see just how bad Water Gun is against a Walrein here in a minute. We're going to go ahead and go for the Sky Attack right here against Walrein to chunk some of that health, and then we need to try to catch a charge move. So I'm going to go ahead, load up a little bit of energy, and swap out. Now we do catch the charge move here, so this is going to be the Icicle Spear, which is resisted. This is really nice, soaking that energy there on Lanturn. Final Pokemon is going to be Nidoqueen. I mean, granted, I am very happy it is a Nidoqueen because of the ground typing, but then again, it's also bad because it's Nidoqueen because it has Poison Fangs, which means I'm going to slowly get deleted right here as these Poison Jabs are just going to do more and more damage. So we're going to go ahead and go for a Surf now to force a shield. And then we're going to try our best to get to another Surf in time, but this is not looking good. Just considering how much damage these Poison Jabs are doing, Switch Clock is coming back up, so I'm going to have to delay the timer right now. If I didn't throw this Surf, they would get to another Poison Fang in time. So since I threw this Surf, but they decided no shield, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and now try to catch the Earthquake here. Actually, it wasn't going to be an Earthquake. It was a bit lower energy, but I'm catching the charge move on Altaria. Because it will take us out, clearing the debuff on Lanturn to try our best to win this game because Icicle Spear is going to be resisted. Lanturn is somewhat tanky, but honestly, I think it's going to be a good game right here because they're going to be able to take us out. So, still extremely close. Granted, if we had Spark in this situation instead of Water Gun, it would have been a lot better for us, and I think we could have won. But that's okay. Sometimes it happens, but just to know, Walrein plus Hypno is kind of hard for this team. All right, so we got Snorlax now on the lead. Again, a nice neutral situation right here for me. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Sky Attack now. Looking to force a shield if I can, because if they decide to let it go, we should be able to take switch with Dragon Breath. So that's actually looking to be the case. They're going to go ahead and throw Body Slams. I'm completely fine with this. I will just fully Dragon Breath down from this range without having to give up a shield. That way I have a Sky Attack ready to go, or potential Moonblast against whatever decides to come in. So next Body Slam lands, but Dragon Breath here is going to win in terms of fast move damage, so we do take out the Snorlax. Now, let's see what decides to come in. It is going to be a Diggersby, so we're going to go ahead and swap out right away into Tentacruel and look to go for the Scald. Now, that was one fast move too quick. It wasn't not enough energy for Earthquake, and in fact, it was just a Fire Punch. So beautiful right there. We do get to the Scald in time. This is going to be doing super effective damage. Now, notice they're not swapping out. Granted, Diggersby, right, resists the poison moves, but if they had a harder counter to water-type Pokemon, surely they would swap out. So my guess, and why I let the Earthquake go through, boom, is to let Lanturn sweep this game, because I have a feeling they might be weak to water. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Lanturn. Again, they're throwing before Earthquake, so this is just Fire Punch. We can let this go. And then we're just going to farm down, and let's see what that final Pokemon is going to be. As Water Gun does farm down, it's actually going to be a Swampert. So not too bad right here. Granted, it's not what I thought it might have been. I was thinking it was going to be a Talonflame, to be honest. But Swampert as well is going to take a lot of damage from Water Gun. Again, the reason why I said, which I'm glad I got to showcase for you guys today, the pros and cons of Water Gun versus Spark. I think we see more Swamperts and Galarian Stunfisk in the meta than we do see Walreins. Just my personal preference because of the nerf to Walrein earlier this season. So you saw what Water Gun did to Galarian Stunfisk in Game 1. You saw what kind of hindered it in Game 2. And now here against Swampert as well. We can just shred it apart. So that's going to be a good game. We still have Altaria as well with a Sky Attack loaded in the back. So they will decide to let this go through. And that is going to be a good game, very well played. Had they shielded that, I would have just swapped to Altaria and thrown Sky Attack. Alright, so we got Swampert now on the lead this time, which is very good for us. They usually pairs with Skarmory, which means we have a Lanturn for that. And now we're in it's a tough situation. I'm going to have to go for Sky Attack here against Hypno. But I also can't stay in forever with Altaria because I need it for the Swampert. So we're going to go ahead and swap into Lanturn here to catch the charge move. I was hoping I'd catch an Ice Punch, but it was a Thunder Punch, unfortunately, which is fine. It's only neutral damage, which I will take, and then I'm just going to go ahead and commit to the farm down here with Water Gun. That way we have a lot of energy. And again, Swamperts pair well with Skarmory, so that is going to be my guess for what is on the back line. I'm going to guess it's going to be a Skarmory, which I still think we can handle with this team, even though Lanturn is the hard counter to it. Because we have two Surfs ready to go, Swampert coming back in needs to be very, very careful. They will be able to farm us down, but this Surf damage is honestly probably going to force a shield now from them, because the first one, look at that, that's nearly 50%. We get to a second one. If they let this go, I'm going to be able to Water Gun them down, so they will be forced to shield right here, which is great. So we're going to, and they decide to swap into Skarmory as well. So there's the Skarmory that we were predicting. Okay. This is a tough situation. We're going to go ahead and come in with Tentacruel right now. We got to save Altaria to close this game out. So what I'm going to look to do is try to go for Scald damage just to chunk as much health from Skarmory as I can and save 2 shields here for Altaria, because the Dragon Breath damage against Swampert should be enough to close this game out. So the Scald does land, which is actually beautiful, and an attack drop right there, which is really nice, and they do decide to throw again. So this is fine by me, because I know that we can come in now with Altaria. I actually have to swap out because I don't want them to farm down. We can come in with Altaria right here and throw the Sky Attack. If they decide to shield this, then we should be able to definitely win this game, because we do get the shield right there. And then this also was not enough for a Brave Bird. I think they're 1 away, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go, and it is going to be a Sky Attack, which we survive, and we can farm down with Dragon Breath, and now they decide to surrender, but there is a Swampert back there with a little bit of energy, but I had 2 shields, so it would have been a good game. All right, moving into the next one, we have Altaria versus Umbreon now on the lead. So anything could really be in the back, but I do like running my Altaria with the Community Day move of Moonblast for situations exactly like this, where we have Dark-type Pokemon where we can take advantage of that super effective damage. So we're just going to go ahead and go straight for the Moonblast. There's no reason to dance around trying to shield bait with the Sky Attack. We're just going to try to set ourselves up with shield advantage, so we do land the Moonblast. That is beautiful. That is going to allow me to go for Sky Attack now versus Umbreon. Again, we're no shielding this. We want to soft lose or soft win this lead without giving up shields because I want to save that for my backline. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Sky Attack. Now we'll have to see how they decide to react right here. If they decide to shield, which they didn't, they let it go through, we need to be very careful about what's in the back because it's a Charmer. So I'm going to swap out right away and we will see Vigoroth come in. I definitely thought I wasn't going to see this thing all week considering how often everyone used it last week, but there's a Vigoroth on the field. But we're going to go ahead and Poison Jab and Acid Spray this thing down because Tentacruel is an absolute monster and you guys should be giving it a try in the Great League if you haven't already. So we'll just double shield these Body Slams, go for double Acid Spray, and that is going to be a good game. The Grand Ball in the back is Shadow as well, so it's going to take a ton of damage from Poison Jabs, and Tentacruel right here it's just gonna put in some work right now. So actually I could have in hindsight not swapped out of Altaria, but I was concerned about something like a Medicham maybe in the back, but that's okay. We will see Granbull come back in. We're just going to go for the Acid Spray now to apply that debuff so our Poison Jabs do more damage, and they shouldn't really get to a charge move in time. Just because of how low energy gaining Charm is. So that's going to be a good game, very well played right there. But overall, this team was actually pretty strong. Very happy with it. Really loved using Lanturn and Tentacruel now in the meta. 2 new water Pokemon that have always been like fringe meta. They have been around, but they never were really at the forefront, and I think Lanturn for sure is at the forefront, especially when pairing with Altaria, and Tentacruel can meld into a lot of teams because of the setup and coverage that it does have. Acid Spray, Scald, and Poison Jab. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give this team a try, and I will continue to drink my coffee so I can say the words that I mean to say.